Hey, it's Amit from Glammatic, and today we're going to talk about 10 common mistakes that salon owners and beauty owners often make on their websites. So over 90% of potential new customers to your business are starting online. That is 90%. That's a ton of people. So if you don't have a website that's optimized, you're going to miss out on a lot of opportunities, and there are some simple mistakes that we can fix today that a lot of beauty operators do not know about. It's going to help you get more appointments and grow your business. And if you stay till the end, we have a bonus tip for you. It's really going to take your business to the next level. We also have a giveaway in the description. So check the description of this video. We've got something that's very relevant to the stuff we're about to talk about. That's going to help you really grow your business. Mistake number one, not having a website at all. So this one's pretty obvious, right? If you don't have a website, how can you improve a website? But you'd be surprised, over 40% of salon operators out there don't even have a website. So if you have a website, you're already doing better than most people out there. However, if you don't have one, you got to get one. There's a lot of opportunities to get started with a website. You can build it on your own. You can work with an agency. You can work with a company like us at Glammatic to get you set up. But the first step is have an online presence. Have a website where people can find you. So if you're happy with the client base that you already have, the thing to keep in mind is that at any point, those clients could slip away. They could drop off, they could move to another salon. Your existing client base, without doing any new lead generation, is only going to go down. It cannot go up unless you're doing effort to get new clients. And so having a great website is both important to build a great brand that your existing clients are proud to support, but it's also extremely important to make sure that you're always building a new client base to attract into your salon. And if you're still cutting hair and you're an owner and you want to work less and less behind the chair, it's important that you can support more people on your team to have new clients as well. So, we need to make sure that we're doing the things to help our businesses prosper, and to bring in clients is the number one activity there. So if you don't have an optimized website, that hurts your ability to grow your business. There's a couple different options that you have. One, DIY or do-it-yourself tools. Squarespace, Wix, there's a lot of options out there where you can build your own website. Number two, there's agencies out there, a lot of people and freelancers who can build a website for you. And then number three is a company like us. We'll do it all for you. We'll do it really quickly. We'll teach you how to use the platform. So Glammatic is a company that's built for all of your marketing, including your website. But first step is for you to just get a website in some shape or form. From there, we'll figure out all the different ways to improve it. Mistake number two for your website that is killing your profits: not optimizing for mobile. Did you know that over 70% of your website traffic is probably coming from mobile devices? It's probably an iPhone, maybe it's an Android, but it's certainly not a computer. And for the most part, if you're making your own website, or if you're thinking about, how your website's working, you're going to think about the website on a computer screen. But the reality is, and this is probably the case for you as well, but the vast majority of people who are going online are doing so from their phone. So what's most important is taking a look at your website on your mobile device and seeing how it looks. Is the book now option immediately visible as the first thing people see when they come on your website? Is your logo clear? Do you have clear photography? Does it look good on your mobile device? That's as important. It's actually more important than how all of that looks and feels on your desktop. And does your website load quickly on your mobile device? That actually brings me to mistake number three. Mistake number three for a simple thing you can do to fix your website and get more bookings is make sure that it loads quickly. It's amazing how little of an attention span we all have, especially today when we have our mobile devices with social media on there and news sources, and we're so familiar with seeing a constant stream of content. We expect for things to load quickly and for there to be a ton of information at our disposal. So if your website does not load quickly, people will get distracted very quickly, they will leave, and they will go to the next option. Because online, you have an infinite stream of options available. And if you don't capture someone's attention immediately, they will go somewhere else. So this is particularly important for your mobile device, because on mobile, people have an even smaller attention span than they do when they're browsing on a computer. And like we've talked about earlier, the vast majority of people are looking at your website from their phone. So take a look. If your website doesn't load within 2 seconds on your mobile device, it's probably not loading fast enough, and you can do a better job. Mistake number four for what you can do for your website to help get more clients and more bookings and build your business: make sure you do not have a cluttered design. It's really tempting when you're building your website to put all of your information that you have in one place. You probably have a million ideas on a daily basis and you want the world to know about it. I love that. I respect that. It's what makes you who you are as an entrepreneur. But the reality is, from a consumer's perspective, they usually just care about one or two things. And it's your job as a business owner to make sure that you are meeting those needs and keeping the text and the design and the content of your site as simple and clear as possible. So think about it from a consumer's perspective. What do they probably care about? First of all, knowing what your services are, being able to book, getting in touch with you, getting a feel for your business. Stay focused on those as the core needs. You can always include information and design in other places on your site, but when someone lands right on that home page, they should be able to do those quick actions as quickly and easily as possible. In particular, booking. Make sure it's very, very simple for people to book with you as quickly as they can. If that's what they want to do, that's you being able to sell to them and you don't want to distract them from your sale. Mistake number 5 on your website that's holding you back as a business. Having bad visuals. I know a lot of people who are unwilling to invest in great photography, great branding, or great video content because it's expensive. And it's true, the best photos and the best videos out there are expensive. Photographers do not come cheap, but there's a reason for that. Having good visual content on your website and your marketing material in general makes a massive difference. It's what people care about. People don't really want to read that much these days. They will make purchasing decisions with their eyes still, but it's almost always photos and video content. So getting professionally created photos and video content goes a long way to both separate yourself from others because it showcases who you are and what your salon looks like, the products that you offer, the services that you offer, your personality, and it also can be reused across all of your channels. So you make that initial investment into good photography, good video content, and good branding really go a long way to support your business. And with branding, so branding is logo, fonts, colors. If you're not really sure where to get started with that, it's one of the services that we offer at a really low cost here at Glammatic just to help you out. Even if you don't want to work with us on all of our other services, we'll at least get you started with a great looking logo that is tailored to your business. We'll help you figure out how you can convert your personality in store into a personality online, and we'll give you this entire set of brand guidelines that you can then use across your online presence. Mistake number 6 for how you can improve your website is making sure that you are selling your unique value proposition online. Let's be honest, in most places in the country, there are a lot of salons to choose from. Obviously, you have something about your service offering, your staff, yourself that makes you different, and it's important to highlight that online. It's especially important to do so online because in store, at least when people are walking down the street, they don't have 100 options to choose from. And online, on the other hand, if you search for a salon near me, you're going to see a ton of options. Of course, some are a little further than others, but it feels like they're all proximate. So it's particularly important online to make sure that you can stand out. So think about what are your core values, what are your core services, what are the things that people really love about who you are, and how can you represent that on your website right out of the gate. It could be your colors that make that big impact, or your logo, or talking about your service offering and why you focus on color or whatever that service might be. But making sure right out of the gate on that home page, especially representing yourself in a unique way, something that can really separate you from all of the other options that exist online. Mistake number 7 for your website, something that you can do to improve ultimately revenue all the way through your website. Avoid boring content. So this is going to be a really tricky one to navigate because you might have this temptation to write as much as you can. And maybe you've heard that having a lot of content is a really good thing for your website. And it's true. Having a lot of content is generally a useful thing for your website, but especially if that content is relevant. So what matters the most is not just having text and images and content on your site, but figuring out what is it that people care about. Why are they on your website to begin with? What are they looking for? And how can you create content that matches and is relevant to that search? So for example, if people are looking for and generally interested in certain products that you have to offer in your salon, make sure you're talking about that. Show pictures of it, show descriptions, talk about why you serving those products to them makes the most sense, and how you deliver a service around that product, or are a master of your craft and can talk more about what makes these things interesting. So offer tips, offer guidance, offer product details, and think about fun ways to engage with people about your staff bios, and not just have, basic content that describes who they are, but give a bigger impression about why they should work with you. Another thing to consider when it comes to content is your blog. So one of the things that we do at Glammatic is build a personalized blog for our clients. We think about their core services, their demographic, and we write unique content that is personalized for them. It's something we highly recommend people do because it's a great way to build more content, add a lot of value to your client base and your community at large, and make sure that you're showing yourself as the expert in your domain. So we highly recommend doing this, and think about the keywords again that are being searched for and matching that with your website. So that brings me to tip number 8, as a common mistake people make on their website that is holding them back from growth. And that is not optimizing for SEO. A firm belief we have at Glammatic is a website is only as good as the traffic that you are driving to it. You might have the most beautiful website in the world, but if you're getting 10, 20, 30, even 100 views per month, you're not cutting it. You're not getting enough eyeballs on your site. If you're not getting enough eyeballs on your site, you're not converting enough traffic to online appointments, you're not creating enough new client base for yourself, and you're not growing. So it is extremely important that as much time as you might invest in the look and feel of your site, you're investing even more on how you can actually get people to land on that website in the first place. How do you make sure that your website is number 1 or number 2 on search results when people are searching for a salon in your neighborhood? And this all comes down to search engine optimization, or SEO. There's a bunch of things that you can do here on the technical side and on the content side to help bring your website as high up those search results as possible. And the reality is, very few salons are actually investing in this stuff. So there's a great opportunity for you to leapfrog others that are currently ranking higher than you. On the technical side, there's a number of things that you can do. You can make sure that your website's mobile optimized. You can make sure you're including things like meta descriptions and meta titles in the back end of your site so that there's those clear descriptions on search results when people are looking for salons like yours. And there's 100 other tips. We've got plenty of video content that is dedicated to search engine optimization. So if you're interested in this, reach out to us directly or subscribe and like our YouTube content to stay tuned for more. We've got a lot of information on SEO because it is extremely important for your business. Tip number 9 is not having calls to action. So a call to action is an immediate next step that you're offering to someone that they should probably take when they're on your website. So the most obvious one is book now. The button that lives on your site, people click when they're on your site, they can now book an appointment with you online, 0 friction to get started. That's a classic call to action, and we recommend using that one as high up and as many times as you can throughout your site in a way that still looks good, because that's what you want to keep informing people as they're going through your website. Prompt them to then book now. You don't want people to have to proactively think to do that. You want to be in their face saying, hey, if this is even in the back of your mind, go ahead and do it. So booking now is a clear call to action. If you don't support appointment booking, you should, but if you don't, you should prompt them to give you a call or text you, whatever the method that you're using to book appointments. That should probably be the number 1. And number 2 is probably leading them to your services to learn more. Or if you care a lot about your team and that's where you really want to drive people and you're seeing interest from folks on that, maybe using a button to lead people to your staff page where they can learn more about your team, the services they offer, the levels that they're at, and being able to book directly with them. So think about what are the most important things that you want people to do on your website and ensure that you have clear calls to action on your site to drive them to do it. Mistake number 10. We've reached the end of our set of tips here, and this one's really important. It's being inactive on your site. Maybe you've gotten your website together and you've thrown it up. Maybe it's been 2 years since you've updated it. First of all, if information is outdated, people are going to be really confused. If you have some folks from your staff that you've listed on your site and they're no longer working there, it's obviously going to lead to confusion. But even more important than just getting your information up to date is telling Google that you are an active, legitimate business. Simply by making updates to your site, adding content here or there, that will tell Google that on a regular basis you are operating online, you care about your online presence, and they're offering real value to people who are searching online. And Google and other search engines care about that. They take notice and they favor those businesses that are regularly updating their site and adding new content. So it is important that you stay active and engaged on your web presence to make sure that you're ranking as high as possible and helping to build your business that way. So I also have a bonus tip number 11 for you. And this is more of an advanced tip, but we're seeing this more and more, and it's all about chat. It's thinking about your chatbot, thinking about AI in general, conversations that you can be having asynchronously without you having to do it yourself. And the way it works is there's a lot of services out there, and Glammatic is one of them, that has a chatbot that can exist on your website. That way, when people come to your site, instead of having to call you or search on your website for what they're looking for, they can simply be prompted automatically with, "Hey, how can we help you today?" And they can interact directly with this chatbot that's fed from a lot of AI that's trained behind the scenes to answer the questions they have right away and drive people towards booking an appointment with you. This is really the next level of the web. Instead of people having to find things themselves, giving this conversational, personalized dialogue to help lead people to where you want them to go and where they want to go. So highly recommend thinking about a chat interface for your own website. And then the next step of that is converting that website-based chat into an automated text conversation that can happen as well. So imagine this. Somebody's calling your business, and it just so happens that whoever's doing reception has to be cutting hair at this moment and no one's behind the desk, and the call goes to voicemail. This is a potential client you're missing, and instead of them wanting to leave a voicemail, they're going to go to that next person and call. But instead of that, if they were to get a text right away automated saying, "Hey, sorry we missed your call. We'd love to figure out how we can work with you. How can I help? If you're looking to book an appointment, book here." If you give them that prompt, it gives them a reason not to go somewhere else and to stay with you, and at the very least engage in a conversation. So something to consider as you are investing in your online presence. There you have it, 10 mistakes that you can avoid to make sure you have a better website that competes and is ranking high and is bringing you more business. I hope you found this useful. And just remember, yes, 10 different tips that can help you out, but even if you just do one of them, that is better than doing nothing. So start small, make incremental progress, and soon you're going to find that your website's doing better and your business is doing better. If you stay tuned for the next video, we're going to go through a bunch of strategies on DIY solutions on a shoestring budget to really help take your business to the next level online. And just remember to check the description for plenty of value adds. One thing in particular I want to offer that we're running a promotion around ourselves is a free website audit. So if you have an existing website and you're curious to get some personalized recommendations for improvement, all you have to do is book with us and submit your website URL, and our team will walk you through improvements and will give you a report on things you can do to improve it. Thanks for joining, and see you in the next one.